Hello, folks. How do you do? Thank you once again for the opportunity to be with you. My name is Godswill Oki, Dr. Oki, a lecturer of mass communication in Nigeria. And we've been sharing thoughts on different aspects of business communication. Today, we are going to look at a very important aspect which is there make huge impact upon our lives, make huge impact upon our relationship in the office. But at the same time, for some people, they may not note that difference. But it is there. It's very important. It communicates more about us than even the verbal forms of communication. Here we are talking about non-verbal communication channels or means which we subconsciously or unconsciously exude in our relationships in the office, which we use, which have become part of our repertoire, probably as a result of our upbringing, background, learned and unlearned behaviors. And some of these we will talk about because there are several and they are all important. We shall look at them even if it takes a longer period of time. But one of the ones to look at belongs to the social cues. Social cues, which include eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, postures, body language. These are paralanguage aspects, which we use in our communication. They actually identify our persona, our personality. There are some of those things when somebody sees our body gait, our posture, is this is Mr. A, Dr. B, Mrs. and so on and so forth. We look at the issue of eye contact as a non-verbal form of communication. It's quite important. It reveals a lot about the communicator, the eye contact, the ability to look appropriately, to the person you're dealing with, because it reveals whom you are. It reveals what you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. The eye contact. It reveals also whether you're innocent or not. It goes into the inner person. So the ability for us to hold eye contact is quite important. And you find out that in some cases, people don't usually do that because of self-consciousness. They are not able to hold eye contact. But it's something we have to learn because it shows the firmness of character. It reveals our real person. It reveals truthfulness. It shows your boldness and courage when you're able to maintain eye contact. But yet again, we should not engage in eye contacts that are becoming rude and insolent. When it becomes a challenge, you are not supposed to do that. In your eye contact, it should be respectful. It should be to exude warmth, trust with the person you're communicating in an office situation. You find out that somebody with fidgety eye contact may not really appear trustworthy. If you don't want to hold eye contact with your superior, as briefly as it may be, it may also exist somebody who is guilty, even if you're not. So eye contacts are important. But then, like I said, it should not be rude when we are making eye contact. Eye contact reveals a lot of things, but here we are looking at in an environment, the official environment, how do you use eye contact? People use eye contact for other forms of affinity, but that's not the case here. But we should know that it goes a long way in our relationship with one another, in our relationship with our superiors in the office. In a relationship, generally, it tells about who we are in the office. The other thing which reveals so much is facial expressions. Our facial expression are like the mirrors into our body. It tells about the inner emotions. It's something that probably a lot of people can hide unless you're a good actor. Your facial expression. As much as possible, we should maintain straight social facial expression, while dealing with people, especially informal uh, meetings, informal settings. When the occasion demands for it, it could also be revealing. When we have to put a smile, when we have to keep a straight face, when you have to, I may not want to use the word frown, facial expression tells a lot about us. It reveals a lot about us. It reveals our feelings, those things we want to do and those things we don't want to do. Our facial expression reveals all this. It communicates probably even more than the verbal form of communication. So it's something we should train ourselves to do, how to use our facial expression. Some people may call it to have a deadpan expression, to have a straight expression on the face. Not necessarily expressionless, but it should be warm in our communicating, our facial expression. And we should also try to hold it back. It's not really every policy, it's not every point you may agree with in an office situation, but even as a CEO, you definitely want your colleagues to run with your vision. So if it's an unpopular view, you can sell it even with a good facial expression. So it's something we have to note and know that our facial expressions communicate a lot. It tells about us too, and it also, we can use it as a selling tool. You can win people by your side, by your facial expression, by a smile, by such. It tells a lot about what we are, what we feel, and what we want something to do. Our gestures, hand gestures, all these things are probably, you can categorize them under the kindnesses. Our gestures, as much as possible, except if you're acting, we should minimize the use of gestures because they are distracting as it is. It's quite difficult to do that, but it's something we should consciously try to maintain, to hold down those gestures, waving of hands, moving the hands, they come naturally, they come subconsciously, and they help to express our feelings, but they could also be, most times they are distracting. So the gestures which we use, we may need to minimize it, except if you're in an informal setting, where you may want to express your gestures, or you're playing a role in a movie or stage, you're shooting a commercial, probably the director wants you to do that. But ordinarily, the use of gestures should be minimized because of their distractive nature. The next thing we may need to look at is our posture, the body posture. The body posture tells a lot about us. It tells us that we are afraid. It tells us that we are confident. It tells how we feel about our position. How do we hold our body? Do we exude confidence? Do we exude fear? Do we exude being scared of a situation or timidity? So that's an important part. And in the course of an interview, you find out that the posture matters a lot because some interviewers will be looking at your posture, your body posture. Do you slump in defeat, as if you've given up? So those things matter a lot and they reveal a lot about us. As much as possible, we should maintain a good posture. that our body carries well, that fits our body. You should be straight and look confident with a smile. It goes a long way to say this is the right person either for the job or he or she knows what he's talking about. Our time is fast spent. I want to thank you once again for listening in. Endeavor to subscribe and introduce this channel, Communication Moments SMCR with Dr. Godswill Oki, to your friends. It's a form of training which you can listen to over and over again to make you the best where you are in your office, your position, whatever it is. They are bits to help you grow. And even for students, it comes handy in the area of business communication and business organizations. So thank you once again. Till we see you next time, I remain Dr. Godswill Oki. Have a good day.